Oh, this is going to be all messed up. What's up, everybody, and welcome to another edition of We Stomped You Out, Season 3, Episode number 8, number 9. I did this. This is like the third time on the show this year that I've done that. I am Steve, as usual. Everything's got to be learned again. Timmy, Tabala, my buddy, my pal.
What up?
My amigo. To my left, down in that corner right there, my other buddy, my pal, my amigo, Keith. And
what's with the embarrassing look? What's going on?
He's embarrassed to be a Giants fan right now.
Yeah, I am. I'm very embarrassed.
Or I'm like that embarrassing.
Go ahead, introduce Rodriguez, and we'll do that Brooklyn
family member
that I'm forced to do, which I don't want to do.
Everybody.
I'm going to talk over you because that makes for a good show when it's two people talking at once.
And making his return. Not only his return, but his very first show on the Pop Culture Pros Network.
That's true.
Mr. Rodriguez. Welcome back. How's it going?
Hello there.
Welcome back.
Going good.
Welcome back, bro.
Thank you, fellas. Thank you. Can't wait to talk about this fantastic season. I'm ready to go. Ready, willing, and not able.
Not able. Let me hand it on over to Mr. Keith to talk about Brooklyn Water Coffee Roasters.
I heard he's not even going to talk about it.
Yeah, I was trying to pass it on. I'm on strike. I want some residuals. I don't know what residual means.
Residuals, okay. You got to get paid first for a residual.
The residuals are way down the line.
Well, it's been 5 years. How long have we been doing the show for?
It's been 84 years.
I want to. So. I want to talk to everybody before I get into that about Baby Shark. You know, everybody knows the song Baby Shark. Do. Well, I found out. I think it was Timmy that taught me this or somebody, but I found out that it's an actual chant.
Baby Shark
that was created.
Oh.
Right? It was a chant that was created because you know as the shark came out, the Baby Shark got popular late last year. And that chant actually opens a portal to hell. Welcome 2020. That's where we are right now. Thank you, Baby Shark. Pandemic is Baby Shark's fault.
Wow. Took a long time to get to that tunnel.
Really did, but we're there. And with that said, I'd like to talk to you about BrooklynWaterCoffeeRoasters.com.
There you go.
For a rare roastery to your front door. Only the finest beans are picked and hand-selected. Only the finest beans are hand selected for their coffee. www.brooklynwatercoffeeroasters.com. There are lots of delicious flavors. There's the high energy caffeine line, Cinnabuzz, one of my favorite, and of course, welcome back, the jacked up cupcake Rodriguez, which is also a delicious vanilla cupcake flavor that's part of the high energy line.
That's what she said.
Then there's a bunch of other flavors out there too, such as dark roast dark chocolate. It's a rich chocolatey flavor, but it has it's not bad. It's how many calories again? I forgot, Faraj.
Absolutely zero.
Boom. There's a lot of flavors out there. If you're not into flavors, they do have medium roast, which I think is their most popular coffee. It is delicious. All the flavors delicious, and if you act now, you will get your third bag free if you buy two. That's right, folks. You heard it. 2 bags get you a free bag. And then you can go teabag. BrooklynWaterCoffeeRoasters.com. The code to get that third bag free is mask on. All capital letters, mask on. BrooklynWaterCoffeeRoasters.com. From their roaster to your front door. Guaranteed to ship within 24 hours of its roast date.
Chin up, laddie.
He's like Spanky. He's like Spanky from the Little Rascals. He's so pouty and all upset.
You little rascal, you. All right, so
I need a propeller hat.
When last we gathered and spoke, we were talking about how even though we were 1-5, we had a chance to get into first place last Thursday. And then something like this happens.
From the 12, Jones keeps, gets a block, takes off, and he is gone. Trying to stay upright, and he trips. Absolutely all alone, and he trips. Going to the end zone and ends up carrying it as it is for 80. But a walk-in touchdown, and he tripped himself.
He's reading Brandon Graham out there, and then he takes it, and once he does and pulls it, there's just nobody left. Even Evan Ingram is out there blocking, and this is the only way he doesn't score.
Fuck it up.
All right, so
I fucked it at his feet.
As it happened, no, that one piece of grass that was a little bit longer than the rest. That caused him fall.
That was almost like when Vinny Testaverde broke his whole body dropping back from a shotgun snap.
Well, so as soon as it happened, you already knew that the memes were going to happen. You were like, let's pray to whatever you pray to that they'd score here, because then it's just a complete disaster. Let's trade him right now. Let's we'll have Sterling Shepard will be our quarterback. That kind of thing coming from the Giants fans. But they wound up scoring on that drive. But then all of a sudden I start getting all these memes from these Jets fans sending me memes about Daniel Jones falling. I said, "Oh, don't forget the 80 yards he ran before that happened." But
first of all, and even the kid in Kansas City, what's his name? That young quarterback. Forget his name. He's not that great anyway. But
don't call him
he was said at least I can't criticize him because I can't run that far or something to that effect.
Dude,
I mean, listen,
that's our butt fumble.
That is our butt fumble. But here's the deal.
You just
we scored. We still scored there.
Okay, but that time off the clock
Come on.
could have been a little different, right? What if we had that extra 20 seconds at the end of the game? Could have been a little different. So
he would have tripped like a girl.
But the Jets really can't say much because our issue is really not our quarterback. Their quarterback can't do an 80-yard run. Our issue is the line, defense, offense. Specifically, offense is not looking that great. Their issue is their coach, their line, their secondary, their receiving core, their defense, their defensive coordinator, their offensive coordinator, the special teams coach, the special teams in general, their fans.
Hot dog guy.
The hot dog guy.
Hot dog.
Yeah, I mean, their issue is the whole team. Honestly, I think if we plug two good lines on our team, we will.
Yeah, that's all we need.
Well, defense is better.
Plug this.
Well, that's not easy to do, right? Obviously, but I'm just saying.
Defense has obviously gotten much better. Ranked.
They have, but I would like to see more pass rushing.
Yes, but the pass rush has gotten better since last year. I obviously couldn't get much worse.
Thankfully to the schemes, but we need a guy. We need one guy that instills fear in the opposing quarterback every time he lines up.
Get out there.
One guy.
You get out there. There's a joke going on in Dallas now. Hey, if you got a Cowboys jersey, throw it on. Come to practice. But Tim, I always throw it your way for this. What were some of the, it's tough at this point, but what were some of the positives and negatives coming out of this game that we may or may not have spoken about last week?
Groundhog Day, because it's the same shit every week. We say it every week. It's the same thing. You don't have the defense on the field the first half of the game. We might have been able to stop them in the second half of the game, but you can't. You can't have them out there that long. And again, it's the same thing that happened. They were out there the whole first quarter, half the second quarter. By the time you get to the fourth quarter, we have to stop them. No, they have no gas left. They got nothing left in them. Offensively, I mean, you would think the line would gel a little bit by now, 6-7 weeks into this, into the season, but they're not. They're regressing. They're regressing as a unit, which is absolutely horrible. And Andrew Thomas went from, all right, this guy is pretty good, to I hope he's not another Eric Flowers, because he's not looking good as of right now. I mean, that's really all I can even say about it. It's Groundhog Day. It's the broken record team over and over again. It's the same shit every week.
Either you guys, Rodriguez or Keith, you guys see anything that you hadn't seen earlier this year? Gotten better, regression?
You want to go first, Rodriguez?
Well, the thing that I've seen getting better, and I'm sort of proud of them actually, is the defense, not the defensive line, because they don't get pushbacks, you know. So they make, but the linebacking core, they fly around a lot and they tackle hard. They're hard nosed players that are always in on the tackle. The linebackers. That's what I'm seeing. Defensive line's gotten maybe slightly better, but it's still not an effective defensive line. So like Timmy says, you play them all. They play the first quarter, they play the second quarter, they play most of the third quarter, like over the offense. But the fourth quarter, they gas, man. We're gonna get beat, and our offensive line that gets pushed back all the time. I've never seen an offensive line with such young guys that get pushed back. They just get pinned back, you know, and that might be, maybe there's a scheme that can help them. I don't know. I'm not that much a professional in that sense. Maybe there's a type of scheme. Maybe there's a way that they can line these guys up, even switch positions, just do anything, any kind of offensive line, and we would have won 3 more games, I think. Any kind of offensive line, we would have won 3 more games.
I have a quick story off topic. You guys ever see or remember the movie Funny Farm?
Yes.
Chevy Chase. So do you remember what was it? Was it the mail truck that kept on driving by so quick? Okay.
Yeah, you didn't stop throwing shit.
Yeah, so I just moved about a month ago, and so far I've had 2 Amazon packages in the last week and a half get sent back to Amazon because they couldn't get to the door. That's
you have a gate.
Right. Everything else gets through, just not that kind of stuff. 2 weeks ago, my mailbox is this big. They put a package. I'm off screen now. This big, in the pouring rain, so half of the box gets soaked, and then another one, a smaller box, but they still couldn't fit it in there. And so I've been trying to, see where the hell this postal person is, and I just looked at the post office truck, just drove right by, and I'm like, damn it, I should just bust out of here and go track her down. Now at least I see a face, though. I'm gonna get her.
Maybe that's why the house was up for sale.
You shouldn't admit to that on video. You're not gonna get her.
Office.
You're just gonna stop her and talk to her. You're not gonna get her.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna get her to talk to her, to speak nicely to her.
Don't get creepy.
To talk some sense to her. Keith, anything you want to add to what Rodriguez said about this past week?
Yeah, just real quick. A lot of it is just mostly agreeing. The defense has looked really good. As I stated, and Rodriguez as well, we really need to get more pressure on that quarterback. But they've been doing a decent job of stopping the run. Those linebackers, as Rodriguez said, are flying all over the place. One thing that I really like about the defense this year, in comparison to the last few years, which is really frustrating, was missed tackles. Don't see any missed tackles, or hardly, that I've noticed. There was a thing in the past I would see some crappy tackling, and just that's the worst thing to do when you're just a missed tackle in football. To me, is like one of the biggest sins, other than the left guard letting the guy run by. The other thing is, from an offensive standpoint, same thing. With an offensive line, we can stretch that clock. We can push the time of possession. I know the other week, what was it? We had 30 minutes, but we need close to 38, closer to 40 minutes on that field as an offense. And lastly, one of the biggest, worst signs you can have as a football team is when your kicking team and special teams are tops in the league. It means that you're using them too much. Our kicker's like second in every category now or something. I remember, what was it, Matt Barr or something like this. We went through this phase, I guess it was back in the 90s, where we were, for several years, our bragging rights was how high in the top of the charts and the leaderboards we were with our kicking team and special teams. This is not a good thing, people. You don't want to hear your kicker got the most field goals and the most points and the most this. You don't want to hear that, because it means you're using them too much, and it means you suck.
Very well said. The next thing that we want to talk about here a little bit is the trade deadline. So, Timmy, when's the trade deadline?
November, I think it's election day. Same day, I think. November 3rd.
Oh, good. We get to be
Alright.
done with that and these stupid ass political commercials that I'm bombarded with every 10 seconds. I voted already, people. Is there an off switch if you voted? Like, don't want to hear it no more?
You're in such a mood today.
I am.
One more week.
I'm coming to terms with we're terrible. That's why.
Moody.
Yeah. But we were terrible. It was last week, too. And we
The week before, bro. Pretty much every week.
But I was making believe that we had hope and can.
Dude.
You
Okay.
can still do that. Look
We're
at the
still,
division.
we're still alive
Still
in this
alive.
division. We're still
But
alive.
You know who doesn't have any chance? The rest of the Dodgers locker room to not have COVID now. But anyway, what were we saying?
What an idiot.
Not me.
That's
He's
just
not
a
calling me an
terrible
idiot.
thing.
He's
That's
calling
a
Justin
terrible
Turner an
thing to
idiot, by
say,
the way.
you know.
It's not. You saw what Justin Turner
Justin
did
Turner an
yesterday?
idiot.
What did he do?
Yeah. Oh, he got
you didn't see
pulled from the game being tested positive for COVID, and then came back out to take pictures without a mask and celebrate with his team. Ta-da! Is it still harsh?
But he's got a ring. He's got a ring.
I
now.
hope they don't have it. I don't want.
He's got the
I
ring.
don't wish
He's
it.
got the ring we didn't get.
Listen, I don't wish that on anybody, but come on, bro. Come
It
on.
is pretty stupid.
It is pretty. You know what you should have came out with? A freaking one of those yellow. You're handling plutonium for your futuristic car machine.
Maybe he
Hazmat
drinks.
suit.
Maybe he drinks chlorine. You never know.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
He shot
All
up some
right,
bleach and they went out. Anyways,
He's
All
the
right.
guy.
All right, so
stuck a
trade
flashlight up his
deadline
ass. Sorry.
wow.
Life.
Ta-da. Trade deadline wise, so the thought was potentially that we were going to have Ingram on the block. Doesn't seem like that's going to happen, but we know Gettleman's a liar, so we don't know what to trust when it comes over when it comes to him, because he did say that he was never going to trade Odell Beckham, and then 2 weeks later, bye bye.
Yeah, and you know what? Instead of lying, you should just say no comment. Oh, we're constantly
Yeah,
evaluating.
he just can't handle. He can't handle
Fat
life.
Boston mouth can't do that.
You stupid Boston Walrus.
He has to blah 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 blah. Spew
Right.
it out.
All
There's
right,
a subject
so
we can get into it, but you think he's gone next year?
Yes.
there would be zero explanation for him not being gone. There's no.
I agree.
There's nothing. I mean, there's nothing. All right, so trade deadline wise, the thought was Evan Ingram, among other players, but it doesn't look like we're going to be doing much. Tim, we made one trade. There's been a couple more around the league. And anything that stands out to you?
As far as we go, I would again. What a difference from week one. Leonard Williams. Now it's a whole different story. It's not. He's not trading him now because he sucks. Now you're trading him because he's playing really, really well.
Right.
But he's still not worth the money that he's going to want next year. Not giving him $15, $16 million. He ain't worth that money. So he's got to go. He got to go, and I'll be happy with that. Hopefully we get a good return. Not just Gettleman. Hey, give me a 6th-round pick and a bag of chips. You can have Leonard Williams, because that's what he'll do.
And that's what I'm a little concerned of.
Yeah.
Gettleman just doing shit.
Yeah, just doing whatever.
Knowing he's getting fired. He knows he's getting fired.
Yeah, so can I just jump in on that, right? So if we know we're going to fire him at this point, truthfully, to all your points, and a little more insight on that is you want somebody who knows the team that they're going to be moving pieces on. Bring him in now. Why wait? Let him watch his team throughout the year, and then he can work with Judge, and he can kind of figure out who goes and who stays based off of his own assessment, not somebody else's word. But with Gettleman in there this whole time, who knows what he's going to do, and he's not going to make those decisions during draft. If we're getting rid of him, we don't want him drafting, and we all know that.
Oh no, he'll be gone well before the draft, I think. And who knows? Maybe ownership said, "You ain't doing nothing, Joe Judge. You handle this right now, or you be the talker, and I'll approve such and such."
Don't you
but
think
maybe
Judge?
Gettleman's already been told you can't do anything right now.
Don't you think Judge is probably aware right now that he's going to be the signal caller on this? He's going to make the final decision, at least until this guy goes away. Like Keith said, why is he there? I mean, honestly, if they're gonna get rid of him, they really want to get rid of him. He shouldn't be there right now, and everything should go through Judge because Judge knows what he wants on the team. I mean, who else right now? He knows the team the best because you got to get rid of that guy. You can't let him do anything. Honestly,
get him in Scots to go.
Everything that we need, I would just pick every draft pick will be an offensive and a defensive lineman. Like my first 5 at least. I would get rid of these guys in a heartbeat.
No, like you said, we gotta. Leonard Williams now has become our number one commodity, and followed by Ingram. And I see a lot of Giants fans bitching about Ingram. He's having a fantastic year. I know what everyone's bitching about. He drops one ball and everyone's jumping on his back. Yeah, but guess what? He's also catching a bunch of balls too. He's making really good plays. But, again, we're going to be sellers. We're not going to be buyers. Not like buying Leonard Williams last year for no reason, giving up 2 draft picks for the guy.
The third and the fifth, right?
Yeah, and Leonard, he's our number one commodity. I say trade him. Get at least that back. At least get that back. And he's playing well enough to get that back at least. Maybe at least a third. Maybe not the 5th, but at least a third, please. Something.
Yeah.
Give us something to show for it.
I wouldn't mind trading Ingram.
Well, he's not worth 15 to 14, whatever the hell he was asking for next year. He's not worth it, and they're not going to give it to him. Trade him then and get something for him before this year's out.
You're talking Leonard Williams, though, right?
Leonard Williams.
Okay, because Keith said that he's all right trading Ingram, and there was there was that rumor with an Ingram for Njoku swap.
Trade him for
Njoku hasn't. He's been on the side, and he didn't even get many snaps this last week with Hooper out. They went to that other kid.
Listen, here's another rule in football: the quarterback makes the receivers. The receivers don't make the quarterback. And I know Ingram is a tight end, but he's really more of a receiver. With the team the way it is and the offensive line struggling, we need. I'll say a Shockey. And the only reason I'm saying Shockey is because Shockey can block and take somebody out. We need a tight end who can block. We need that extra blocker who's going to come off the side and help on the left.
Oh, we have that if we wanted to move Ingram to a wide receiver and bring in Smith as that.
Look how many
Smith's a much better
receivers come and go from amazing quarterbacks. They're superstars and they go somewhere else. I mean, there's exceptions. Randy Moss, obviously, there's super talent, but a lot of receivers, I would say at least definitely more than half, are stars because of who's throwing to them, not because of who they are.
Yeah, but if you move Ingram to the outside, he's not that effective anymore because the little guys outside can cover him. His quickness inside as a big receiver against the linebackers, then his speed on them, he can cut on them faster. That's what makes him really good. Being on the outside, he's going to be. I mean, he's a good player, but he's not going to be as effective outside as he is inside. So you got to keep him inside. Do you trade him for somebody that bigger and better
for picks?
Yeah, for a couple of picks. For a couple of picks, sure. I trade him for a couple of picks easily.
Give me a second and a 4th round pick for him.
I don't
we
see
can
us
stack up.
I don't see us being really that good for the next 2 to 3 years. Honestly, unless by some miracle we draft a defensive stud and an offensive lineman.
Mm-hmm.
Unless we get that, I don't see us being good.
So off topic, not off topic from what you're saying, Rodriguez, but away from what we plan for the show. Just real quick, do you feel more confidence, even though we're doing really bad right now with Judge and staff meaning the defensive offensive coordinators in place, as opposed to when Pat Shermer wasn't in place and we were doing this bad?
Definitely.
1,000%, right,
Definitely.
guys? 1,000%. They
I
feel
agree.
like our old teams, our old Giant teams, where you got that rough and gruff, tough coach that yells like a defensive guy, and the offensive guy's just there doing his thing and shutting up and not making a big deal. It feels like a Giants team now a little bit. At least to me, it does.
I agree.
He had me from the mud drill, from when he dove into the mud with them. The fumble mud drill.
I think
Sure.
And no, no, but just meaning that he's hard nosed. He wants his expectations met. So he's like a mini Coughlin in that way, and maybe Coughlin would have gotten in the mud if he was
Yeah.
20 years younger. But
Well, like we
But
talked about in the past, it's the same.
You're right,
It's the
Rodriguez.
same line. It's the same breed. The Belichick, the Parcells, the Coughlin. He's from that line. The system. That's right. Trust the system.
Ruger wanted you to use the word system.
That wasn't
You weren't
Ruger.
saying it.
That was Rufus.
It wasn't. That was Rufus.
No, it wasn't Rufus.
Maybe it was on Rodriguez end.
Yeah, it was the
Oh, okay.
beast.
Somebody wanted you to say system.
The
What are
beast
dogs
was
out there?
talking crap.
The beast was loose. Yeah,
Beast
so
doesn't-
it's funny that you said that, Keith, because I did want to do a temperature check of how we're feeling about Joe Judge. Obviously, the four of us are pretty comfortable with it. No matter how we're looking on the field. This is not a product of Joe Judge. This is not Joe Judge's picks, not Joe Judge's players that he brought in. So this is from the old regime. So
This isn't Daniel Jones. This isn't Joe Judge. This is the fact that Daniel Jones has no weapons on offense. Nothing. See, and and even you can't even prove that Shepard is Shepard anymore. You can't prove it. Why? There's no time to throw the goddamn ball. When you're averaging under 200 yards a game, but you're still attempting 35 passes, what does that tell you? You have no time to throw the goddamn ball. Excuse me for saying that, but it's true. And it's not their fault. It's not Daniel Jones' fault. It's not Judge. They have nothing on offense.
Timmy,
weapons.
it's Daniel Jones, and we should trade him. We should get Trevor Lawrence and be
Trevor
done
Lawrence,
with him.
So he can get beat up next year.
Yeah,
get his ass whooped next year, and then we trade Trevor Lawrence the following year for whoever the next stud is. Just keep doing that forever.
Well, here's the thing,
And we'll be the Jets.
and then we'll be the Jets, right? But the NFL right now is very Trevor Lawrence happy, and I get it. The kid is supposed to be a prodigy and everything else, but that's not where our issue lies. You can't plug talent. And this is just quick commentary for those Giant fans out there say we should tank for Lawrence. You can't plug talent where there's already talent. You have to plug talent where you need it. Defensive line, offensive line. That's our goal.
Get
Daniel Jones
big
can
fat
win.
son of a hoochie out there.
Get us like a young
big
Roman Brown.
Jumbo Elliott son of a guns like that.
If Lawrence is as good as everyone says he is, and we end up with the number one pick, we can auction that off, and we will be a contender within 2-3 years. Not 4, not 5 or 6. We will have enough draft picks and commodity and to be able to trade and do stuff in and out. Contenders in 2 years.
Agreed.
2 years.
Yeah,
I would.
Yeah, because the NFL does that. That's NFL is like if you look at the NFL compared to, and you can clump baseball and basketball in there too. You can get better like that. Baseball takes time for some, more time for others. But in football, every year there's a team that jumps to the middle of the pack from a bottom 2 team, and that's one of the great things about football is that there's always that unexpected team that is that Cinderella team that's using that Cinderella season as a stepping stone to become contenders for the next 5-10 years.
Look at what Philly did a few years ago. Remember when Philly started when they fired what's his name, the college coach idiot, whatever, I forget his name anyway. It doesn't matter. And all of a sudden they start trading everybody. This one's getting traded. That one's getting traded. And the next thing you know, undrafted, I'm like, how does Philly have 30 picks? Every other pick was the Eagles. Then they would trade this pick for 3 more picks for the following year. Right. Guess what that did? That won them a Super Bowl. That's exactly what we need to do. And I hate saying that. Screw you, Brian Hom, and your Phillies, but your Philadelphia people. But we have to follow what they did. Got to follow what the Eagles did. They fired their coach, traded everyone worth trading, then traded those picks for better picks, and led to a Super Bowl. Even though they mishandled the quarterback situation immensely.
Can I just stop big time? Say, I really like that pop culture pros up there.
Oh, you like it?
Yeah. Everybody should go like pop culture pros on all your favorite social medias if you haven't already. If you haven't,
I'll rest my head on it. I'll rest my head on it.
Yeah, just lean on there. Yeah.
I'll lean in seductively.
Go to Pop Culture Pros on all
Wow,
social
that's
media.
hot.
Like, follow.
Ladies, beware.
Lady. Jeff
I'll get
says,
close
come
to
on,
it.
guys. It's just the O-line problem. We have a good offense and good defense. So, I mean, we have been acknowledging the defense for the last couple weeks because a couple weeks ago, to my surprise, the Giants were number 8 in defense. I felt that they got better. Just I didn't realize how much better they had gotten. So that's number one.
Mm-hmm.
Keith was praising our kicking a little earlier, so you missed that. And when we say that we don't, when Timmy says we don't have the weapons, it's a lot that we just don't know what we have because Daniel Jones doesn't have the time to do anything back there. So it's a dump off pass, it's quick slants. Rarely do you see the guy throwing, have the time to throw downfield. Here's maybe this is the situation. This is what we should do, Keith. To your point earlier, since he keeps on getting attacked from the blind side, we need to trade him and bring in a lefty quarterback. That's what we should do.
Or you know what? I think we should take.
That makes perfect sense.
We should take this opportunity. And we should just hire Sandra Bullock. Never mind.
I agree.
To coach the guy up.
Yeah,
that's right.
Coach the guy to the left side.
Perfect.
Sure.
Yeah.
She'll walk in the middle of practice. She'll walk in the middle of practice, grab the guy by the helmet, say, "This is your brother," and boom, we got a left tackle for the next 10 years. I agree.
Yeah. So, well, I think we should get an ambidextrous quarterback and build the quarterback around our weaknesses and not build our strengths around our quarterback.
I love it. You're on to something, Keith.
I am.
There's a couple of ambidextrous guys in baseball. Bring them in.
So honestly, a couple of weeks ago, didn't you guys see that Jason Garrett was just trying to run the ball, and we kept getting stuffed, and he didn't want. It seemed like he just didn't want to try to spread the ball out a little bit more. I mean, it looks like he just wasted plays and wasted time trying to force us to run, and we can't block to get a running back through. So I mean,
I think he was trying to solve the possession problem. But
I think so
it
too.
it doesn't work when.
But you said two,
not
and
much
what does that
works.
lead to?
If you're
What
not
does
even
that
getting
lead
2
to?
yards,
But when you become that's exactly, and then when you become one dimensional, that defense knows what you're going to do.
A lot of three.
They're going to sit back on the pass now. That's why Daniel Jones has to pull the ball in and run 80-yard freaking runs every week because that's all they can do. They can't do nothing else. I don't blame Jason Garrett either.
Well, sometimes I'm thinking that he should just try to do what they can do, not try to make them into a running team because they can't block.
But they can't. That's the problem. They can't do anything.
They can't do it.
But
Jeff
Jeff
is a voice of reason.
There's got to be something, right?
Out of all these Giants groups where everybody's saying trade Daniel Jones and he's not the guy and he's a bum and these non-football playing non-football knowing people saying he's a bust after 16 games, huh? Yes.
Okay, but if you look at his first 16 games, you compare it to some of the greats, he's right up there with them. And I'm not saying
he did that with Peyton.
That was greats, right? We did that last week on last week's show. I'm not saying he's Peyton. Maybe he is, maybe he's not. I don't know. Yeah. But what I am saying is that you can't judge somebody off their first season. And to Jeff's point, you see our offensive line is terrible. No good quarterback has a bad offensive line.
He's a pretty good quarterback. That kid is
a pretty good quarterback.
And
I got to give some props. Let's give some props.
Cut the crap.
To my man Gallman. He's been doing well. He's not Barkley. Actually, I'm glad Barkley's out, so he's not getting destroyed with this offensive line we have. But Gallman's been doing well. He's been finding holes. The legs keep moving. He's been doing what he should do. I'm glad we picked him up. That was a good pickup by that Bostonian jerk. GM of ours.
Just say it was a good pickup. You don't have to give him any credit.
Yeah, I want to add to it. I don't want. I give credit and then I'll take it away twice.
Take it away.
Walk at the hand.
All right.
Go ahead.
All right. It's time. Let's do a little short preview and then we'll get into our picks. The Bucks and the Giants. It is. Timmy loves when the Giants play on in the national spotlight Thursday, Sunday.
What did I say last week?
Yep.
We played Sunday last week. We would have won that game, but it was a Thursday.
We blow those games, bro.
So
I hate it.
this week it is against just a juggernaut in the Tampa Bay Bucks. Tom Brady is looking. A couple weeks ago, he looked like shit, and he looked washed up, and he looked like he couldn't do anything. And now he's rejuvenated. And now they bring in, Antonio Brown, who's not, thankfully, not eligible to play until next week. But I mean, when you think about offenses in this league right now, it is tough. Seattle, Green Bay, Arizona. It is tough to say that there's any offense moving forward better than the Bucks with Tom Brady as your quarterback, Ronald Jones, who has been fantastic.
Leonard Fournette's the backup.
Fournette is the backup, for Christ's sake.
Gronkowski.
Gronk, who just a beautiful pass to Gronk in the back of the end zone over the weekend, 45 points against the Raiders. And then, Michael Evans, who's not played very well this year, he still scored 5 touchdowns, but he's not played very well. I just traded him in fantasy football. And then who's the other guy? He's actually hurt. He's not going to be playing this week. I cannot think of his name right now. So he's got most of his offense, most of his weapons, and then that defense, which has not been the best on paper, if you will, even for the last 10 years. But they're ball hawks. The post office lady is driving by again.
Go get her.
Get him. We'll hold.
Go ahead, chase it down.
She's going to the post. She's putting stuff in the mailbox. Let me see if she closes it.
Why don't you go out there and
intriguing stuff right here.
run her down?
Yeah. What about that stuff that's going back to Amazon, you jerk?
Put her on the show.
Easy.
Oh, excuse me. Why do you feel the need to, get all my boxes wet? Why? You're on air to 750,000
Wait, did you
people.
just talk about getting a box wet? Anyway,
Excuse you.
I don't have a box.
Go interview her with your
you just
giant
tell me you want
penis.
your box to be
All
wet.
right.
Go
All
take
right,
that giant penis and interview her.
You heard that, right, Rodriguez?
What?
He was talking about his box being wet.
I heard that. I know. Look at him.
She's still there. What is she doing? Put everything in there.
And now it's getting creepy.
leave.
So yeah, now it's getting creepy.
So wait,
Okay, she left. I'll report back on this later. After the
the
show, I'll go
Bucks
check and see what's going on.
No, not while we're on the air. On your own free
All right.
time.
All right. So, and then, like I was saying, the defense, a bunch of ball hawks. They love to take the ball away, and that could present a problem if Daniel Jones doesn't take care of the ball this week. So,
how much are we going to lose by?
I'm taking a little issue with what you just said, because that fumble last week was not Daniel Jones' fault. Let me just say that, and I'll leave it there. A lot of his fumbles
he got blasted.
are because he's getting slaughtered behind the line.
You were going to say pounded.
I was, but then I thought
And you
about
thought
your
better of it.
He's getting slaughtered behind the line.
Oh my
His
God.
line should be protecting him.
This is the new era, Rodriguez. This is Pop Culture Pros, where it's a little bit more risque.
Oh, really? Are you giving me the green light?
I'm slightly.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So okay. So Timmy, give me one thing. Give me one thing that can cause the Giants to pull out a victory this Monday night, besides moving the game to Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, the same thing that won us 2 Super Bowls. You got to rattle the shed of that quarterback. What's his name? Oh yeah, that's right,
yeah.
Tom Brady. You rattle
Tampa.
him, you can win this game. You can't let him just sit back there and pick us apart, which he's probably going to do, and he's going to enjoy every minute of it too.
I got an idea, Keith. Get on a plane.
Oh my God.
Head up there. No, don't Fuakata. Grab Brady, bring him back to a hotel room, tie him up, and make him watch the Super Bowls nonstop. Both Super Bowls on loop. Tape his eyes open. That'll do it.
You know,
You don't want to do that?
Well, not. I wouldn't. I would do more than that.
Well,
I
now
would
you
also-
just confess to the crime. Now you're
In
confessing to the
games,
crime.
I would sit there and have conversations with him about how Joe Judge was his defensive coordinator, even though he's not a defense, but how Joe Judge probably knows him better than most people in the NFL and probably knows how to pick him apart. And he could probably change everything he was planning on doing this Sunday and change his whole game plan. Now, hurry up. Well, when are we playing? Sunday, Monday, whenever the hell we play. I don't even know anymore.
Happy days.
Monday night.
Oh, don't worry, Tom Brady. It's Monday night.
I thought you were gonna bust into Happy Days there.
Cheers, Tom Brady. You won. Monday Night Football and Giants.
Red Solo
No,
Cup.
I would also pump it to his head and try to like psych him out with the fact that Joe Judge knows him and knows how to plan.
Hey, Panacci. What do you mean you're going? How you going? No fans allowed there. What are you doing? They
What?
haven't changed that yet. Have you guys?
Were they
Are
playing
there
the Giants
fans allowed?
game?
Giant Stadium.
Because it's not MetLife.
As far as I know, no one's allowed.
Okay. Well, I mean, good luck, Panacci, if you go. Be that lone fan, unless you're like a guest of somebody. Joe Judge.
Or, I mean, we're all going somewhere at some point.
Oh no, definitely. Rodriguez, is there anything the Giants can do Monday to beat these Bucks?
Other than not show up or retire or kidnap Tom Brady or
There it is.
I mean,
It'd be like
kidnap Tom
horrible
Brady's
bosses kidnapping.
Kidnapping him is the best idea, to be honest. It's really
I like
a best offensive play. We're not gonna win, man. We can't get to the quarterback. If for some miracle of God we have a rush and like we can rattle Brady a little bit, we have a shot at actually being in the game up until the third quarter. Other than that, I don't have any hope. I really don't. Not this week. Last week I had some hope. Not this
It's rough.
If
right,
this
let's get
game
to-
was being played on a Sunday, we'd still lose. But we probably wouldn't lose as bad. If it's being played on a Monday, where the Giants cannot play, they have to have one of the worst records ever on Monday Night Football. They're gonna lose and lose royally.
They have, like,
It's gonna
fourth worst
be
record
bad.
ever.
It's gonna be bad, man.
So my
right.
my thought also is we're going to get destroyed. But because I feel that way, this would be the game we pull off.
Oh my God.
I like
I'm
it.
sticking with the L, but
All right.
I'll take the backwards logic. If it works.
I hope I'm wrong.
Let's
Really
get to our picks here for the week 8. Panacci makes a good point. Can we compete in the game? All but the 49ers game we have been in. We've competed. The defense has kept us in. But so yeah, you want to compete. You want to embarrass yourself, especially on Monday Night Football.
Brady wants to embarrass you.
Tom Brady, JPP wants to destroy us.
Yeah.
You know, he wants to come back and get us. That cheap shot and
absolutely.
fat ass that lies next to him likes to destroy us. So it's not going to be pleasant.
No,
It's gonna be
they're
rough.
coming in with
It's
some hard feelings, man.
All right, let's get to our picks. We'll start off with the Thursday night game. We're doing it live. We did not make these picks beforehand. We're going to do this live here. First
Okay. Do they count?
Falcons. This is the Thursday night game tomorrow night. Falcons at Panthers. The Panthers are a 3-point favorite. And again, for you guys out there that are watching for the very first time, we just pick the winner. I mentioned the favorite, but we don't pick based off the lines. That would just drive us crazy, and I bet more and be more of a degenerate.
Then you are
Timmy. Timmy, start off with you. Falcons and the Panthers.
This is a rough one. Those Falcons, man. They like to
No,
make
by the way, the Falcons cost me a shit ton of money last week.
and they're
I
at
had
home.
a 7-team parlay, and that's the one that busted it
That was
by
bad.
1
They
point.
should have won last week.
I'm going to go with the Panthers at home. Panthers at home.
All right, Keith.
I got to take the Panthers too. I mean, if I had a choice to watch a game, this probably would not be the one I watched. But I'm going with the Panthers.
Well, I mean, the Falcons. You never know what's going to happen. So there's some excitement.
Listen, I like the Falcons. I do. I picked them a lot. But ever
You
since
gotta stop
that
doing that.
Super Bowl, ever since that Super Bowl fold, I'm Matt Ryan, and it wasn't even his fault. I'm done. Falcons. Listen. There's years and years of history of them screwing me over and ticking me off. So, I think I'm done.
Screw crap, Lana. Rodriguez, who you got here?
Falcons.
Going with the Falcons.
With the Falcons.
I'm not putting money on them again.
Don't.
By 1 point.
Don't.
All right. Next up, the Colts are 2.5-point favorites at the team responsible for me losing the money, the Lions. We'll start with me this time. I'm going to go with the Colts. Rodriguez.
I'm taking the Colts.
Keith.
I'm going with the Lions.
Yeah, you are. You're such a rebel with a cause.
Mr.
Timmy.
Home. I like Stafford.
I am going with the Colts.
I like Stafford too, and Stafford's best friends with new World Series champion Clayton Kershaw.
Screw him.
Next up, the Vikings, the hapless Vikings, the Vikings that show that you can be good and then just terrible the next year. Vikings head to Green Bay to play the Packers. The Packers are a 7-point favorite here. We'll start with Keith this time.
Green Bay.
Green Bay all the way.
Packers.
Rodriguez.
Packers.
Packers. I'm going with the Packers also. Timmy.
Packers. All the way
Clean
around.
Sweep of the Packs. What happened to the Vikings, man? That Jefferson kid is really good at wide receiver, though.
They still suck.
When was the When was the last time the Bills were favored in a game against the Patriots? We got to figure that out. It got to be 15 years?
Never.
Or never. Patriots and just awful quarterback play. Head to the Bills. The Bills played really subpar last week. They got the win because they played the Jets, but they were not very impressive on offense. The Bills are favored by 3.5 points here. We'll start this one off with Timmy.
Oh, sure. Put the pressure on me right away.
Yep.
I don't blame Josh Allen completely. That offensive line looked like they were ready to break. But, oh, my God, I don't know about this game. Come back to me. It's
because you don't want to. You can't pick against the system, Belichick's system.
Yeah,
Keith,
come back.
Keith,
Yeah.
Keith, I'm coming to you, buddy.
That's why.
It's all about
system.
the system. The Pats are taking it. Sorry, Sam.
Pats. Wow.
Oh, wait. Who's your quarterback this week? Because nobody ever knows
It's Cam Newton.
Still Cam?
Is it Cam
he's still
Newton?
gonna start.
All right, I'll stay with the Pats. I thought they were going to release him or something.
Well,
that
they
just-
benched him, but Belichick said that, and this is something that Belichick has not had to say in 17 years, that his quarterback, he's still our starting quarterback. He's not had to say that at all for 17 years,
That's
but he had
crazy.
to come out and answer that question in a press conference.
Yes,
Rodriguez,
I
who you got in this one?
I like the Bills at home.
I'm gonna go with the Bills of Buffalo because I know that line was kind of cracking last week. If the Jets have any strength at all, moderately speaking, it's the defense. Moderately speaking. But I do think that that was kind of a trap game, and you kind of play down to your opponent in that situation. It happens to even the best of teams, where you could be a runaway winner of a division and still have an issue with your division rival. So I'm confident going with the Bills this week. Back to you, Timmy.
Bills.
Well, okay.
Write it down.
I was gonna say we'll tell by the volume of your voice whether it's Buffalo.
Bills.
There you go. Can you shout out, Keith? How can you possibly take the Patriots over the Bills?
Wait, can I change my pick?
You can.
Okay, but I'm not. Just want to know if I could.
Wow. All right. Next up, the Titans, who got their first loss of the year against the in it every game Bengals because their rookie quarterback, is playing lights out for the most part. But the Titans are a 6-point favorite against the Bengals. The Bengals defense is just atrocious. And I'll start off. This is an easy one. Start off with Rodriguez.
The Titans. Simple. Easy. Peasy.
Simple, easy. That they have right now 2 candidates for MVP that are being spoken about. Typically doesn't go to a running back, but you got to acknowledge Derrick Henry, and Ryan Tannehill is just playing out of his mind right now. So I'm happy for Tannehill. He found a home after being bashed every year by the Dolphin fans.
He may be the real deal now.
Yeah.
A year and a half, or a good year.
Yeah. Timmy?
The Titans over the Bagels.
Titans. All right. And then Keith.
I'm riding that T train, the Tannehill train. I told all you Dolphin fans for many years, the guy's good, your team sucks. You blame him for the rest of the team sucking. Now look, I'm riding that.
It's kind of like Giants fans right now with Daniel Jones.
Big, I told you so.
And I'm sticking with Daniel Jones. I love that I told you so. It's always fun. But I'm sticking with Daniel Jones too. I'm not giving up on him. The rest of the team sucks. Recognize all you Sunday only fans who don't know crap. Shh.
Scott Peterson. The Raiders head to Cleveland to play the Browns. I know it's in Cleveland, but the Raiders have beaten the Chiefs this year. The game against Tampa, their entire line was out because of COVID testing. So, I mean, what do you expect to happen there? The Browns just lost Odell Beckham. I mean, he wasn't all that impressive to begin with. He had one really solid game this year, but he goes out with a torn ACL. And these morning show hosts of these NFL games that are paid tons of money, a hell of a lot more than we get paid. And they just say the weirdest things, like, the Browns are going to be better off without Odell. Maybe, but attitude-wise, but he hasn't the attitude thing. Maybe with the cleats a couple weeks ago, but that hasn't really reared its ugly head so much this year. And it's the same people that said the Cowboys will be better off without Dak Prescott. That's what's going on? And so, and that was Booker McFarland. So
good without Dak,
but Booker gets paid.
Good without Dak Prescott. One of the dumbest comments you can make. The kid is super talented, and when your star quarterback falls, you're never better. Sorry,
but he's a douche. Cowboy douche.
He's a douche. It is, but
I don't even. Who's their starting quarterback now? Dalton got his eggs smashed in.
But you can't say that they're better without Dak. But I can understand the statement that they're better without Odell. As a Giants fan, I've seen him for many years. The guy's a huge distraction. He's a pain in the ass. He's an attention whore. I'm glad we don't have him. So maybe they will be a little better without him. Maybe the offense will get spread out a little bit more.
Well, I would think Odell spread the offense out. He spreads the offense out more, even though if he's not being productive, he's still a threat. But now, who are you going to slide? I don't know who they have to slide in there.
I'm talking in terms of offensive scheme and how you approach the game. They're going to spread the ball out a little bit more. From a defense, yeah, he spreads it out because there's more defensive people watching him, frees other people up. But I think from an offensive scheme with Odell out of the picture, it's going to open up their offense a little more and how they approach, whatever the Sunday's game. So,
well, in my opinion, attitudes aside, I don't see how any team is better off without their number one, number two.
Oh, I do.
Receiver. Attitude aside,
you can't put attitude aside though.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, because the play on the field is what matters. I know he was a distraction, especially in the New York media.
Tiki Barber. Love Tiki Barber. Super talented. One of the best running backs in Giants history. Hands down. if not the best.
Yeah.
Big distraction with his mouth and his crybaby nonsense.
But that was after the fact. But if you take Tiki out of those games where he was going off with 2,000 yards from scrimmage that year, we're not a better
We
team
would
without
have
him.
won a championship just like we didn't win a championship anyways.
Yes, but we would have been worse.
We would have been
You would have
worse. I'm from New York. I won a championship. How? I don't know any records. I know when we won championship.
Well, then you're in the wrong business.
Okay.
Because
Most New
you're
Yorkers only know when you win a championship and when you don't, or when you've been there.
What are you guys arguing about?
I don't know.
Okay.
my point is, when the talent is on the field, you're a better team. Yeah,
I don't know what you mean.
Right.
Well,
Football's unique. I don't think receivers make a team. I think receivers are an afterthought. I think you get some guy who can catch a ball and run routes with a great quarterback.
Oh, but tell that to Tom Brady last year. Tom Brady had no receivers, and they didn't win the Super Bowl.
No, but how many games did they win? And how many games would they have won without him?
It doesn't matter. You're
It does
only about
matter.
championships, like you
Made
said.
that team, he made most of those wins. That's the bottom line. Right. It comes down to the championship.
Last
Yes.
year was the defense.
What I'm saying is they would not have been as good without Tom Brady last year. Case in point, look at Cam Newton.
Right, exactly. But he's what I'm saying is the most talented guy on the field. If you take him away, you're not going to be as good. Tom Brady, you take him away, you're not going to be as good. The Browns,
Well,
you take away Odell, I don't think they're going to be as good.
I think it depends on position. We can agree to disagree. I think you can easily replace a wide receiver, but you can't easily replace a great lineman or quarterback.
All right.
Gotcha
next.
there.
No,
Alright,
I just feel
Keep
that the
arguing
time
with
has
him.
lapsed.
Keep
The
arguing.
time has lapsed on this. Next up,
We need
I don't
Joe.
I don't want to put this up yet because I want you guys to guess what the line is on this. Jets at the Chiefs.
Well, I didn't pick Raiders and Browns though.
Neither did I. I didn't pick Raiders and Browns.
None of us did we?
No.
No, because you just kept arguing.
Nice job,
Good
Keith.
God.
All right, Keith, you start. Raiders or Browns?
You see that?
Keith, Raiders, Browns.
I'm going with the Browns.
Because they're better without Odell. Rodriguez.
Raiders.
Timmy.
I'm going doo-doo just because they're home.
You know what I just wrote under Rodriguez for this game? I wrote Rodriguez.
Well, Rodriguez will win the game if you put Rodriguez.
Las Vegas,
I
Rodriguez.
can do it. Put me in, coach.
I'm ready to play.
I'm going to go with the Raiders
Oh, Jesus Christ.
this week. Hey, the Browns defense is awful.
It is.
All right. Now we can move ahead to Jets and Chiefs. What do you guys think that the Chiefs? I mean, no shock that the Chiefs are favored. What do you think the point spread on this is that the Chiefs are favored by, Timmy?
16.
16. Keith.
17.5.
17.
Wow, why you got to out prices right, man?
Rodriguez.
2 touchdowns, a field goal, and the
19.
0.5 to Vegas.
19. All right, I'm clearly not going to guess because I already know. Rodriguez is the closest. They are favored by 20 points. I mean, but you don't bet that because garbage time. Maybe they take their foot off the pedal. I don't know.
You can't
20
bet 20,
points.
man. You can't bet
That's
20.
too much, man.
Yeah,
It's
two
a
of the
lot.
worst teams. 2 of the worst things to bet on is a terrible team versus a great team, and get teams that have clinched a playoff berth in week 15.
Close,
and 16.
Daniel.
Yeah, you
Very
can't.
close.
The Jets are miserable. I mean, and I'm picking them all the way. They're going to slaughter. Darnold is going to come out. He's going to look like his fat-headed stud. All right, bizarre
I
world.
already
Come
wrote
on.
down Chiefs for all of us. All right.
Yeah,
This
come on.
this one's an interesting one because you're getting a new quarterback with the Dolphins as Tua makes his debut. Who knows? You know, the ceiling is as high as possible and the floor is as low as possible. And it's the Rams who have been holding teams to like 17 points. and their offense is pretty good. But the Dolphins have been playing pretty good on both sides of the ball. This is another team that, after all these years of doing it the wrong way, did it the right way. They had like 812 picks in this draft, and now they got their guy Tua. He comes in and he starts this week. But the Rams are looking legit again, so it's maybe not the right matchup. But I'll start off with this one. I'm going to go with the Rams. I think their defense is just playing so well, and it's kind of like it can go either way. The defense is playing well, but will they fold against a quarterback that they've never seen, or will it be the rookie quarterback? It kind of goes in, Rodriguez, I look at you because we talk about this all the time, is whenever the Mets play a rookie pitcher, they've never seen him and they're going to struggle. A lot of teams are like, oh, a rookie pitcher and we're going to blast this guy, but not the Mets.
Not the Mets. No.
But I will still stick with the Rams defense. Man, that guy is just a beast, is he not? And I don't even have to mention his name. I mean, it might be a rude welcome to the NFL for Tua, but I'm going to go with the Rams here. Timmy?
Aaron Donald's going to eat him some Tua this week. I go with the Rams.
A little Tua sandwich.
A little Samoan Tua. Bless you. Whoever that was.
Bless you.
Keith?
Let's not downplay the Dolphins defense. Pretty darn good.
I said they're playing pretty good on both sides of the ball.
You just kind of went on a little bit about the Rams, and I think the Dolphins have been pretty damn good. Local team. I'm going with the Dolphins. Excuse me. I'm going with the Dolphins. I think Tua is going to come out with his first win. This reminds me of the Eli Warner situation with Fitzmagic. Feel bad for Fitzmagic, but
I did feel bad for Fitzmagic in the interview where he said he was heartbroken. I
like Fitzmagic. I like him. But, you got
to do the right thing and release him. Let the Cowboys pick him up.
That would be a good choice. But I felt bad for Kurt Warner, too. It is what it is. It's time to move on.
Yeah.
I think Tua is going to have a good show, and Dolphins defense is going to be in play for him to get a couple touchdowns and win.
Rodriguez, who you got?
If it was Fitzpatrick for the Dolphins, if he was quarterbacking, I'd pick the Dolphins. I don't think this kid's gonna do well against the Rams when they come after him, man. I think it's gonna be a Rams. It's gonna be a Rams win.
Could you imagine getting?
I wanted to pick the Dolphins too. Huh?
Can you imagine being tackled by Donald?
No.
No.
No. No, I don't want to.
It's ridiculous.
It's crazy.
All right. So what seems like the potential game of the week, the Steelers, who are now the only undefeated team in the league, head to Baltimore. Baltimore is a 4-point favorite here. Keith, let's start with you. You were looking at me.
Baltimore's going to do it. Baltimore's going to knock them off their pedestal.
Rodriguez, who you got in this one?
Steelers.
Timmy?
Steelers.
I'm going to go with the Steelers, too. The Ravens are not what they were last year.
They're home now. That's kind of where I get from with that.
Yeah, with the 65,000 people screaming, huh?
6,000.
Didn't quite sell out. All right, next up, the Chargers, 3.5-point favorites heading to Denver. This is a shit bowl. This is not this is a, Bill Simmons does barely watchables, unwatchables, and watchables. And this is for me. I mean, unless you're watching for Herbert,
yeah, unwatchable.
You're not watching for Locke.
Unwatchable.
I mean, it's
you may
an
even watch
unwatchable
golf
game
instead of this.
Oof.
That's how bad it is, I think.
All right, I'm gonna go with the Chargers here, just because they have less injuries. Herbert's done a really good job actually, quarterbacking that team. Broncos defense is very good, but they have some injuries out there. And I in a maybe a 19-17 win. The Chargers win this, which means that they don't cover. Timmy?
Yeah, I mean, Herbert's been throwing like 4 touchdowns a game, no matter what they win or lose. So I'm definitely taking the Chargers. I like Herbert. He's a good kid. He's a good kid.
So just really quick, this is not Herbert related, but Burrow related. He is now third all time with the number of 300 or more yardage games for a quarterback in their rookie season, and he's already done it. So he just tied Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones was only the second rookie. He's number 2 all time rookie. I forget who number 1 was, which is not, maybe it's probably Patrick Mahomes. But Burrow's already done it, and we're heading to week 8, so he'll he's already tied Daniel Jones. He'll far surpass that. Keith, who you got in this one? Chargers, Broncos.
I gotta go with the Chargers. The Broncos, they're just sad. They don't know what they're doing at quarterback. Just too much going on over there.
Good
I know
job,
they're a mile
LA.
high. I was gonna pick. I think Driscoll's starting this weekend. Who knows? I was gonna go with them because they're a mile high, but I think the Chargers are a little more organized as a team, and they're gonna take this game.
They should get a mile high before they play. Maybe they'll win.
Yeah, being high is not going to help them. They're not winning this game.
Rodriguez.
Chargers.
Chargers. All right. Next up, the Saints are 4.5-point favorites at the Bears. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like the Bears got completely exposed this past week, and not in a good way. Timmy, let's start off with you on this one. And I think Michael Thomas is back, unless he gets traded.
I'm going Saints. I'm not impressed by the Bears. Well, offensively anyway, not at all.
Offensively,
So
they
I'll
just
take
have
the Saints.
nothing.
No.
Well,
You see, like the Giants. The Giants have weapons. I mean, they have Allen. The Bears have Allen Robinson, but did he? Was that a concussion?
Oh, I'm not sure,
The
but
other day?
he's another guy you might want to watch. Might not be on the team anymore come this
Yeah,
week.
very true. Well, that might have.
If he's not hurt.
Yeah, because his head slant. I think it was him. His head slammed in the ground pretty bad, and they took him out. I'm not sure if he came back.
like
right,
Mr.
Keith.
Connolly was there, right? Tim?
Yeah,
It was nasty, pretty nasty. But
nasty. I say
There's
nasty.
worms.
yeah, worms.
Worms in my head.
The Bears are the or half a strong cat. The Bears were this was our what was he, like a science teacher or something, Tim, in junior high school?
Science. Yeah. He was
The
nasty.
he was very nasty. He had this weird accent. Anyway, back to the point. The Bears are like the most unimpressive 5-2 I have ever seen in the history of my life. Yeah, I am not going with the Bears. I think the Saints, high scoring, they give up a bunch of points too. But as long as Breeze is in there, they're gonna win.
Yeah,
Let's go
I mean,
Saints.
even if he can't, unload and 50 yards down the field anymore, which he might every now and again, he's still a general of the game, and he's still going to get Kamara out there. He's still going to these guys are all going to be led by a true general. Rodriguez, who you got in this one?
Wow, you almost convinced me to pick the Saints.
Almost.
You almost convinced me to pick the Saints because I really want to pick the Saints. I love Drew Brees as a player, fantastic player. I think the Bears may see this game as more important than the Saints do, and they may be a little bit more fired up, and they're at home, and they are 5-2 at the end of the day. So I'm going to take the Bears.
And so does Danielle, of course. But I think
Of course.
She must.
Danielle picks the Bears.
The Bears.
Yeah, our friend Danielle loves the Bears.
The Bears.
The Bears.
All right, another great game. This is in the afternoon batch of games. The 49ers, who I thought were just going to kind of like lay down and go get a pick. But they've come back pretty strong here. You know, they're obviously their low point was the game against the Dolphins. But now considering the Dolphins are playing, you know, not Dolphin-like football for the last 20 years, for the moment, maybe that was not such a bad thing. You know, they had their injuries. Maybe it was just the kick in the teeth that they needed. And then the Seahawks defense just doesn't want to do anything anymore. Arizona kind of had their way with them. So all that being said, I know where Rodriguez is headed. Rodriguez, who are you picking on this one?
I'm gonna pick the Niners.
Rodriguez in his head is like, don't pretend to know who I'm gonna pick.
No, it's just I'm sort of a Niner fan, my backup team in a way. But so I'm gonna pick the Niners. I like the Niners, and I think it's gonna be a 21-21 tie. And they're gonna stay just like that. But I'm gonna go with the Niners.
The clear best division in football is that division there with the 49ers, Seahawks, Arizona, who, you know, I've loved Arizona since the beginning. I think I picked them for the playoffs. But they're that's a complete team right now. You know, if there's one complete team out there, it's probably the Steelers. But looking the other way, you know, up and coming Arizona, they could pose some problems over there. But 49ers and Seahawks, I'm going to go with the Seahawks here. You know, although I did have to pick up Jimmy G this week because Kyler Murray is on a bye week from fantasy. So I hope Jimmy G gets his. You know, because the Seahawks defense will give up to anybody. But I do still think the Seahawks are going to come back. And I think Russell Wilson is like, oh, I might have lost some MVP votes with those 3 interceptions last week. Let me get back into the mix here. So I'm going to go with the Seahawks.
3. That was 3 interceptions, man.
Which is really it's like weird to see Russell Wilson throw interceptions.
Yeah, I know. He didn't fill me with confidence. I really wanted to pick him this week, man.
Yeah.
I really did.
Timmy.
I am going to stick with the Seahawks. One, because I don't know if I saw that story. The 49ers are supposedly thinking about moving on from Garoppolo already. That's not the kind of story that just goes away.
Internal. I hope he changes minds this week because I need him.
That kind of shit don't go away. So that might be playing a little mind games with the organization. 2, there's another rumor that good old Bill Belichick might be trying to trade Stephon Gilmore to the Seattle Seahawks for a bunch of draft picks, and that'll fit into his system, Mr. Laris. Yeah. If that happens, the Seahawks will be right back up there at top of that defense. But I like the Seahawks anyway. I'm going to go with the Seahawks to rebound from a horrible loss.
Well, even if Gilmore gets traded, actually, if Gilmore gets traded tomorrow, he could play on Sunday. Gilmore gets traded because there's a 2-day wait. It's 2-day waiting period. If you get traded or signed from another, it's a 2-day waiting period due to COVID-19. You cannot rejoin your team unless it's a 2-day waiting period and you test negatively during those 2 days before you.
Unless you just got a test this morning, then they'd be like, okay, go ahead, you got tested already. Maybe.
By the way, lucky. Who's back in the league? Des Bryant. Des Bryant.
Everyone's back in the league now.
Everybody, it's out of necessity, right? And we brought Coleman back in, which I like Coleman. We didn't really get a chance to see what he could do, obviously because of the ACL injury, and then we kind of released him after that. Keith, who you got in this one? 49ers, Seahawks.
49ers defense is really going to control this game. Garoppolo is going to have a good game, and they will win.
I hope
the
so.
Seahawks will go down.
Give me 3 touchdowns, man.
And just a quick note, I think people don't really give the 49ers defense much credit. I mean, I'm sure they do, but it's not spoken. Their defense has been really good. Look at the stats.
A lot of injuries.
They have a lot of injuries, they do, but they got a good
system. I do it.
Go Niners.
All right. This is system. For all you guys out there. That's All right. Next up is I don't know why they can't start flexing these games, man.
My God.
The Sunday night game. Cowgirls and the Feagles. The Feagles. Listen, the Eagles are going to win this division.
Sheagles.
I don't think there's any doubt about that at this point because the Cowgirls they're not looking too good anymore. We still them boys? Nope.
No, they them girls.
Or I don't even know if they're that. I don't even know what they are. We're gonna find a new name for these Cowgirls.
We've called them worse.
Cowboys.
Trust me, you know that.
We have behind closed doors,
called
behind
them,
privacy
yes.
of our own.
Yes,
group
yes.
chats.
Go Feagles.
I should be in jail for some of the things I've said about them over the years. Prison for hate crimes.
I mean, I don't know if you saw Rodriguez a few weeks ago because sometimes we don't see the names, but a few weeks ago, Timmy's name on here was Dak's ankle.
Oh,
Dak's ankle.
That's messed up. I mean, I do hate the guy.
Should have signed the contract, Dak.
I do.
Should have signed the contract.
You should see the Tabala Christmas card this year.
Yes, the Christmas card. Tim, come on now. $31 million is not enough to feed anybody's family. Okay.
Yep.
And now he'll be quarterback in the Redskins next year. While the Cowboys go after Trevor Lawrence.
Is it related to Latrell Sprewell?
That's what I'm saying. We're talking about Sprewell, or what are we talking about here?
I was gonna say Sprewell. What was it? 3 years, $24 million from the Timberwolves.
I can't
feed my family.
Yeah, and then guess what?
Never got another contract again.
Never got another contract, you big jerk.
How can you be a guy
How can you be so stupid?
who choked your coach and then demand more money?
I know.
It wasn't the same coach, but I mean, just in general, if there's a team that wants you to play for them in the league, take it after choking
$24 million.
Not only could I feed my family on $24 million, but my grandkids never have to work again because I'd figure out a way to make that money work. Are you joking?
Exactly.
$24 million to work for your grandkids.
That's a hell of it. You could feed you could give meals for weeks to all the homeless up in New York City. I mean, like $24 million. Come on.
Well, no, not this day and age. You need like
$24 not in New York. First thing I do is move out of New York.
Dollar menu. McDonald's.
You
food is food. Food is food.
Oh my, no, that's plastic, dude. Stop eating plastic.
Is it better than not eating anything? Sometimes.
Yes. No, actually, maybe sometimes not.
All right, the Eagles are favored by 7.5 points in this one. I mean, I don't see how you pick the Cowboys at all the rest of the year. Especially I don't even know who they're. They're probably better off having Dak in a wheelchair back there than whoever is going to be quarterback in this week.
Yeah, you could just put the Fleagles down for me.
Me too.
Eagles across the board. Yes, Rodriguez?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Yes,
all right.
20 minutes ago, I was ready.
Monday night game. How many points are the Bucks favored by, Timmy?
17?
Keith?
20. He's saying 20.
Rodriguez.
We know it's 20 already, don't we? 20 at least 25, 35.
All right.
45.
So that's because all you don't know that you're so broke you can't even afford to pay attention.
You guys have no faith in these Giants. You have no faith in your team.
Dude. Come on, seriously?
So between the New York teams.
Timmy,
between the New York teams.
Tell them, Timmy.
They are
head, not heart. Head, not heart.
Yeah, head, not heart. Believe me on this one.
Between the New York teams, they are underdogs by a total of 30 points this week.
Right.
The Bucks are 10-point favorites against the Giants.
That's because of our defense. That's just because of our defense.
Yeah, that is true. Respect to the D.
And which is I mean, let's just be thankful to say that. I mean,
well, depends how you look at it.
Well, last year we were what are we? Are we 1-6 now? Yeah, we're 1-6. Last year we were 1-6. But our defense was shit, and our offense was shit, and our special teams was shit, and our kicker was shit. So we were all shit.
So now there's only one thing that's not shit.
No, the kicker's better than shit. Keith, right, Keith?
Kicker's better than shit. All right.
Best
Two
player
people
on the
better than-
team.
And
which means we suck.
our running game is phenomenal. Daniel Jones leading the team in rushing every week.
I know. He's gonna pull a calf muscle so soon.
Gallman's been doing a good job. Don't take away from him.
Gallman and actually this other guy has been doing a good job also.
We assisted that.
Freeman?
It's just Freeman. Thank you.
Assisted Freeman.
I mean, Freeman. I mean, it boils down to line, and we've said this so many times. Raul's jumps in here saying the freaking Giants had a 21-10 lead with 6:17 left in the fourth, and blows the lead to the Eagles. And the Giants lose the game by 1. I can say it. Fuck. Damn.
Wait, why couldn't we say
frowny face.
Was there a reason why we couldn't say it before? Because it never stopped me. Was that a real rule?
Or would you accidentally did it and had to
I just did what I wanted.
Apologize for it afterwards. All right.
I only apologize to your mom. Anybody else who's offended?
You know the drill here. With the Giants game, we make the pick and the score. Keith, since you're being an asshole today, pick and the score.
Wow.
You start.
Darth Vader's making my pick.
He's holding a fart in. Let it out, Keith.
I am going Bucks 34, Giants 13.
Ooh, close to me. Very close to me.
Wow.
All right, Timmy.
I got 34-12. All field goals, baby.
Wow.
All field goals.
I picked at least one touchdown, but I hope
Wow.
I got all
Daniel.
field goals.
Wow.
Rodriguez.
Giants 17.
Ooh, 17.
Bucks 49.
Whoa.
49.
Whoa.
Jeez.
You never know with Brady.
I hope you're wrong.
You
bro.
remember? I mean, when they put up 45, they were still throwing the ball in the fourth quarter. You always kind of wondered, was it Belichick that wanted to pour on the score, or was it Brady that wanted, or did Brady learn from the system?
Brady wants to embarrass us, dude. You know this.
All right, I got the Bucks 38-17.
All right. I'll allow it.
So we all have us getting blown out.
And I hope
Which
we're all
means we'll
wrong.
probably win this week. But
I hope we're all wrong.
Giants will win 9-7 now, just because of that.
Yeah. No,
Plat's playing
59.
defense.
Remember, we got the better kicker.
Mia, something burning or what? The hell are you doing? Something burning.
Go on mute, Rodriguez.
You hit the wrong button.
No, I wanted you guys to hear it. I didn't want to show my face.
All right, Raul's got 34-17 Bucks. So
We're all
it's
about
a
the same
safe
place.
Okay, so we're all saying that the Bucks are going to cover this week. 10 is not bad. I mean, the Chiefs thing is that's rough.
They can easily cover.
I don't
All
want
right.
to win at this point. Don't get my hopes up. Just get picks.
If we can get the number one pick and then auction
But
that
this
shit
is what
off
New York
to the
teams do.
highest.
They'll
highest
piss me
bidder.
off and they'll win this week.
Kimberly,
Oh, if we win the next, no, just lose. Get the pick. Get rid of Gittleman.
relax.
If I told
be
you
so
right
happy
now
if
we
they
could win 6 games and win the division, you'd be like, let's do it.
I would. Just don't think it's gonna happen.
Because you know why? You get a playoff berth and still a high draft pick because you only won 6 games anyway.
Yeah,
Oh, let's
That's the
do
best.
it.
That's the best of both worlds.
But we got to win against the Eagles.
We'll beat them next time.
We lost
So
by
we're
1.
You know why? Because it's not going to be on a Thursday, a Sunday night, or a Monday night.
So
That is
many
right.
missed opportunities. In that
Or it's on a Sunday
Anyway.
night this time. Shit. I don't know.
We don't need. Listen, if
Play
we're
Sunday
in,
1 o'clock,
just
16
flex
games.
the shit.
Leave me alone.
Yeah, no,
I agree.
That's too much. Come on. But
Oh, it's 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock sometimes.
But should they not manage the schedule a little bit better? There's 11 1 o'clock games and 3 4 o'clock games. They should balance that off a little bit because
In
then
the
you
old
get
days, it
really
almost felt
shitty
like
games in the 4 o'clock.
The first half of the season was one time. The second half of the season was the second time. They split it with the Jets. That's what it seemed like way back in the day when I was in New York. But yeah, it seems that balance is no longer there.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. Closing remarks here, Timmy. Anything words of wisdom to leave us on today, mate?
No,
No wisdom.
because it's Groundhog Day. It's Groundhog Day. People are gonna get tired of me saying the same shit every week. So I'll just say, please stop the madness. Wear your mask. Wear your Darth Vader mask like mine. And that's it.
Keith, closing remarks.
Let's go Giants. Let's go for the L.
We're still rooting for the Giants. And we all picked them to get blown out, but we're gonna be rooting for them.
Let's go for the
Of
L.
course.
Cursing and screaming and throwing
Absolutely.
shit and. So I just don't want I don't want people that are watching to think.
I'm
that
sorry.
we're
Did you
like
ask me a question, or did you ask me a question so you can speak?
Yeah, but then I did what I wanted to.
You pick them. You pick them to lose. You pick them to lose, but you want them to win.
Right.
That's exactly
Right.
what. That's a Giants fan. I picked them to
not like
lose,
Hart.
but I hope they kick the shit out of Brady on Sunday though. Monday. I'm sorry, Monday.
No,
But
they
it's
put
not
'em
like
out.
the on these groups. They're fake fans. All right, Keith, go ahead with your negative knowledge.
So I was just saying, let's go.
Wow. Mr.
I did
Pouty number
that.
2.
I did that by accident. I hit the mouse.
Oh,
Let's go Giants. I would like us to lose and get a pick at this point, but I will definitely be on the edge of my seat if we won, and super happy about it. To Tim's point, wear your mask. It's not over. Don't be a jerk. Don't be a fool. Be safe. Let's go Mets and Giants too.
You be safe. Now we're out of whack here. Rodriguez.
Now
any
I
final
don't
thoughts?
even know whose turn it is. It's my turn. I'm the last guy. Listen, wear your mask. Don't forget to vote. Let's go Giants. We're gonna get our butts whooped, but we all gotta cheer for them. That's the reality. Wear your mask. Blessings. I'm out.
Good night, Raul.
Just be happy. We'll all have a stress-free Sunday.
Exactly, because we know what's coming.
We're not losing on Sunday.
No,
So
nothing to worry about.
all right, my closing remarks are head over to the new website, popculturepros.com. All the links for the social media stuff, it's there. Top right-hand corner, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, the group, Snapchat, TikTok, your sister's ass, all that good stuff. It's all there. You might blur out some of those pictures, but
What about Frank
but
Conte's sister's ass?
well, we
Come on.
But head over there. We have some really fun conversations in the group already. The group's only a couple weeks old, but we're firing on all cylinders there. As we get more and more giveaways, we'll continue to do those. And there's reviews up there. A couple of reviews for Borat. If you haven't seen Borat, Keith hated it. Timmy liked it. I liked it. Not sure. Rodriguez, did you watch it yet? It's a very nice. What did you think?
It's the same movie,
Yeah.
but I love the Giuliani bit. I love the stuff.
I like the daughter. I like the daughter a lot.
Yeah,
the daughter
I mean,
being
the daughter was
involved.
good.
Thought
It was a
cool.
little spin.
My
On
favorite bit is when she swallowed the baby off the cupcake, and when he went to the doctor.
To the clinic.
I was dying.
I was dying.
Spoiler alert, Keith. Spoiler alert.
Well, no, it's not, because I didn't give any of the jokes. Really, truthfully, it's the same movie as it was before, and it was mostly boring, in my opinion, with some good laughs in the middle. Not worth an hour and a half.
He's in the
Prime.
15% minority.
It was free on Prime. I'm okay with it.
It was free. That's why I watched it.
Free is good. Free is great. Free is
Free
good. Would you rather
is
watch
for
Borat or a Giants game?
I'd rather watch a
Oh,
Giants game.
come on, a Giants
good.
game.
Okay, good.
What's wrong with you?
Testing you, Keith. You jerk.
I
right,
actually would rather watch, and there's some really good stand-up comedy, especially on Netflix right now. I'd rather watch I'd spend an hour watching one of those stand-up comics on there that are really good instead of that movie. But anyway,
I'd rather watch you guys talk about the Doors and their 5 albums.
Boom.
we're gonna talk about
Just
that this
saying.
weekend. Might be a preview.
All right. So that'll wrap it up for us. Check out the website, popculturepros.com. And if you're not able to watch this whole thing here and you want to listen to us, just search out Pop Culture Pros.
Mandalorian too?
You know, wherever you get your podcast from. Mandalorian, that's tomorrow, right? No, Friday.
Friday.
Thought
Don't
today
forget.
was Thursday for just a second.
Don't forget.
We'll be doing our review Monday.
Oh, yeah. All right. We'll talk to you guys next week. Say peace out, everybody.
Wait, where is that review happening?
On the Empire
Deuces.
161 Monday, we're going to do the World Series wrap up, postseason preview, and the Mandalorian season 2 debut.
On
Review.
Pop Culture Pros.
Keith, you
Network.
saved it.
Word.
There. 2 seconds away from ending the whole broadcast. Very good. Good timing.
You like that, right?
Yeah, I do. I love you, too. All right. We'll talk to you later. Peace.
Peace.
Later.